Welcome to the permanent shrine of St. Mother Theodore Guerin. From the moment anyone enters the front door of Providence Center, they will know that the journey with the saint, which is our theme for the entire shrine, begins right here at the front door. If you look quickly behind the skid of light fixtures, that's where a statue of Mother Theodore will be placed. It's in a niche in this beautiful circular area. She's going to be surrounded by a forest scene. The forest, nature, leaves, native plants, these are going to be among the visual themes that are going to be used throughout this journey. Even the carpet pattern is called prairie grass. And of course, Mother Theodore's own words will be everywhere. Behind the orange fence that you saw there will be positioned a specially made reception desk, and that's where our friendly volunteers will be ready to greet our guests and the many pilgrims we plan to invite to take this journey. So let's duck into the conference room. You're going to see that this room is getting new paint, new carpeting, new light fixtures, but that structurally it's going to remain the same. So we step out into the hallway again, and here's the view down that hallway. Not too many changes to this front hallway, but lots of changes coming up on the right. Notice the bright color. This signals that we are moving into the gift shop. You're going to see a number of structural changes here. Among them, there'll be a display case outside the shop, addition of windows to let in more light and shoppers to look in. As I said, notice the brightness of the paint that has been selected. Even the carpet inside will be prairie grass, but it will be with this golden or mustard hues. We've got new offices, new storeroom area. As we pan around, notice the gentleman on the scaffolding. He is right in the location where the new checkout counter will be. It's just to the right as you enter the gift shop. It will serve as the checkout counter for merchandise and the counter from which refreshments will be sold. They're going to be using a page from one of Mother Theodore's business ledgers to decorate the front of the counter, and beyond that is our little cafe area. On the wall behind the counter and the cafe will be the artistic theme piece for the gift shop, which we are happy to announce has been renamed Linden Leaf Gifts. So on this wall will be that wonderful quote of Mother Theodore's. You know, we went out into the forest and gathered simples and linden blossoms. So as part of our gift shop branding, we will tell the story of our linden tree cross that was fashioned for Mother Theodore's linden tree at the time of the sesquicentennial. We maybe even have some miniature linden tree crosses for sale. But I hope you're getting the point that Mother Theodore, her life, her words, are being integrated throughout the Providence Center facility. We better move on now, although you are going to want to spend a lot of time in this gift shop once it's finished. So we're out into the hall again, and another significant change will happen once you move down the hall, and we're calling it the second circle. There's another display area. And this display area will say something about who the Sisters of Providence are today. Near the display area, and they're ducking in with their camera, is a big storeroom that the staff is very pleased about. There's also going to be a display case for rotating displays, like the ones we prepared for our old heritage room. So that'll be in this area, as well as then the big exhibit kind of, we call it wallpaper, that will be installed there. And we anticipate that this will be the display that will update from time to time. We'll move now to the opening to the office area, and when we walk through this entrance, you'll see our office arrangement. I think this is really going to put the staff in nice proximity of one another. To the left, you'll see 3 offices, one for our facilities manager, one for the tour manager, and one for the administrative assistant. It was our goal that everybody would have a window in her office. Okay. As we move back then down this same hall, you'll see two more offices, and that will be for the Director of Programming, Paula Damiano, and the Director of Shrines, Sister Jan Craven. So wonderful new space for our staff. Right across the hall from that space is a new, what we're calling the mail room or the copy room. We hope this will be a big workspace that all Providence Center folks can use, especially our volunteers, who some days seem like they're having to do their work in their laps because we have no desk space for them. So this new workroom will just be a wonderful addition to the facility. And here we are at the head of the diorama corridor. Not changing this area structurally either, but we are refurbishing the dioramas. We've planned new signage for each of the dioramas that will match our other display areas. We've shortened the script. There will be no audio. We're going to individually light these dioramas. We hope this will make it certainly more user-friendly for everyone, but especially for children. On the opposite wall to the dioramas will be a historical timeline that will begin with Mother Theodore's birth and end with the canonization. And we hope to incorporate several layers of information here. What was going on in Mother Theodore's life, what was going on in the life of the congregation, as well as in the world and in the church. Though we anticipate the dioramas to be ready when the gift shop reopens in June 2021, the timeline will come later, but we hope in time for the October opening of the shrine per se. And now you'll see that we're moving into the corridor that leads directly to the shrine. The carpet will continue, this prairie grass, but it's going to change color and arrangement to signal that we are nearing the shrine. You'll see the pan of the window. We're going to use this window as a kind of an entrance sign. It will be covered with the portrait image of Mother Theodore and the title of the shrine, Journey with a Saint. And so we step into then the French room. Of course, the journey starts in France, and this room is going to tell that story both in the large display panels planned for this area. Straight ahead is the biggest one, as well as other items. We'll have pictures of Queen Amelia, Bishop Bouvier, the organ that came from France, a picture of the cathedral in which Mother Theodore prayed before boarding the ship and leaving France. And then Mother Theodore and her companions board the ship. So duck your heads as we enter into the ship room. This is actually the area under the Blessed Sacrament Chapel stairs. They're creating a replica of what the berths on the ship might have looked like and what they had to experience en route to our beloved woods. And then we're going to step off the ship and then into the forest. And that pillar you see is actually going to be fashioned into a tree. So come down, sisters and pilgrims, we have arrived. The panels will show an actual scene, an actual forest from St. Mary of the Woods. All the panels throughout the shrine contain significant pictures, as well as quotes from Mother Theodore from Scripture. There'll be a little historical explanation and a question for reflection, so that the pilgrim is really enabled to enter into the journey. And the way these panels curve around is just beautiful. It will lead the pilgrim on his or her way. So we go from the arrival in the forest to immersion into suffering. There's a little opening there in one of the walls, and we'll be able to look through and see the beautiful statue of St. Joseph. From the other angle, we'll be able to see a wonderful panel with the watercolor sketch that Mother Mary Cecilia Bailey did of the Shell Chapel. Just before then we move into Mother Theodore's tomb area. There's an opening on the wall. It'll be a case. It'll have the daguerreotype image of Mother Theodore and a replica of the habit she would have worn, as well as other artifacts. But then we're moving now into the chapel area. On the left, there'll be a little conference room. On the right, there's going to be a book of intentions. But then we're going to step into the chapel. And we're calling that deliberately because the goal all along has been to provide a quiet, peaceful place for pilgrims to pray with Mother Theodore, and we certainly think it has been accomplished here. Her walnut casket will be placed on limestone in between the two main pillars of the room, and these pillars are going to be covered with walnut wood from our very own walnut trees. Between them and suspended over the coffin will be a walnut canopy, and linden leaves are going to be carved into it. I hope you're picking up on the themes here. The words, "Put yourself gently into the hands of Providence," will be carved into the limestone, and the floor will be French limestone. In talking about the room, the architects have said to us, this is the room they have worked diligently to make special. There'll be built-in benches around the walls, and happily they're using the leftover walnut that was obtained at the time Mother Theodore's coffin was made for the temporary shrine in the church. There'll be kneelers and candles. The windows are going to have a kind of stained glass covering, but plant designs will be etched into whatever is applied to those windows. Past the intention area again, and as we sneak around the corner here, so after we leave the chapel, there's going to be a little room, and we're calling this Mother Theodore's writing room. She was a writer, and so her writing desk, perhaps a page from her journal will be there, maybe even the basket that Mother Theodore actually used to gather simples and linden blossoms will be placed inside here. I should say that throughout the exhibits area, there will be little insets and translucent boxes where actual artifacts of Mother Theodore will be on display. So we'll step away from there, and now we complete the journey. We have the immersion into new American life. This is, the buildings that got built, the expansion of our mission, especially with the emphasis on education. Our missions here and elsewhere. China will be a focus. We'll pass through into the final section, which is mission and legacy, where there'll be a reflection on the legacy of Mother Theodore in the lives of her sisters today, her sisters and associates today since those first days. And there'll be just a little ending reflection where we'll ask the pilgrim to continue to reflect on his or her own journey and let Providence touch their lives. So we move out of the shrine area, and it's a little bit of a dark area on this video. We'll have the lift area first. This is the new elevator to the Blessed Sacrament Chapel for both our sisters and pilgrims' use if needed. Next to that, we have new restrooms, both a men's room and a woman's room right there, until eventually we are out into the hall, and the pilgrims can move onto the church and a visit at the National Shrine of Our Lady of Providence. Just a reminder to everybody, all of this will be ready to help us celebrate the opening of our 175th anniversary year as a congregation in October. October 22nd will be the formal blessing of the shrine. October 25th will be an open house to share all of this with our many benefactors, families, associates, and other friends. It's going to be wonderful.